Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
Attention, children of the night. Today's show is a service of our Amazon page. When you get ready for Halloween, please remember to shop Amazon. And when you do, go to MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon or click the Amazon link on our website. It's the best way to support the show. And the prices are so good, it's scary.
Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store. And around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Presents! We've got presents, and those presents are the nicest thing to have.
Wow. Yay. It was almost...
I almost got the pitch.
Yeah,
but,
heaven.
Yeah.
I'm in heaven. Oscar, let's start with the beers that we were presented with last night.
I sound just like I did on Thursday's show.
I would think after 23 hours of rest, you'd sound better.
I really think I would have gotten my voice back.
Mike, we missed you at the hockey game last night. It was a blast.
Did you have a good time?
I can't believe the way it ended.
I don't want to play this game. I don't want to play the lie to the listeners game. Yes, we're taping our Friday show on Thursday.
Okay, we've got some key beers from some key breweries that are rare, I've been told. Rare.
Yes.
I feel like Dracula seeing the sun.
Yeah, not the day for him to have beer.
No.
We've got Dragon's Milk from New Holland Brewing. And we also have Hair of the Dog. And
Did you see the ABV, the alcohol by volume on that bottle?
I have not.
I know what it is.
It's ridiculous.
It's a 10.
Yeah, it's 10.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it's like drinking carbonated scotch.
That's
Nice.
not fun.
Yeah.
Not
What else
fun.
do we have
Keep
here?
that. You can take that home.
Yeah.
Another bottle of Hair of the Dog.
Hair of the
bourbon.
Dog, Mike, has bourbon notes.
Do we know who brought those beers to the meet and greet the other night?
Two
nights ago?
Oh, you mean on Thursday?
I thought we were doing
Wednesday
2 nights
night?
ago. No, it's 2 nights. Time Machine.
Yes.
No, he's going to send me a note because he wanted to be my friend on Facebook, and I said I'd move him to the head of the line.
Just
so
a piece of paper with a little flying note on it.
Yes, that's what he's going to send me a note.
He's going to send you a note.
F sharp.
Right.
And so I will
I
mention
feel
his
like
name.
F sharp right now.
Mike, this is a book that was sent for actually your son,
Okay.
and it's to Mike, Carla, and little Michael. They said, please do not read the card on the air. So it's an anonymous book, but it is called Toy Boat.
Toy Boat.
Oh, he's going to
Sweet.
love this.
So that's for you.
Boat.
I love that.
Let me read a little.
Oh, good. Okay, here we are.
Do you have kids' music?
I can have some. Yeah.
All right. I don't want to read it unless it's got... if you have small children, this is an opportunity for the Mike O'Mara to do something experimental. We're going to go into a different realm right now. And
Use a different word.
Yeah,
Yes.
please.
Should I cross my legs?
sit on the floor. All right. All right, hold on just a second.
Boat.
A little boy had a toy boat. He made it from a can, a cork, a yellow pencil, and some white cloth. The boy loved the boat, and they were never apart. They bathed together.
Oh, that's not right.
They slept.
Hey.
You know, you're ruining the mojo
Hello.
right now. Come on now. What are you doing? Behave yourself.
Sorry.
They bathed together. They slept together. And every day, they would go down to the lake and sail all afternoon. The boy and his boat. Unfortunately, Mike O'Mara was the boy, and he was walking across Wisconsin Avenue.
Oh, my God. Look what happened to him. Oh, my God.
But the boat's okay.
Let me skip ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Maybe
right.
for the ending. Oh, that's
Hold
not
on
the
just
song.
a second here. Okay. One blustery afternoon, Mike O'Mara was crossing Wisconsin Avenue.
All these stories end the same way.
I know. I have to organize myself. Hold on just a second. I have to get everything out of the way. Everything is in the way. I want to
You've
get
got
it out
lots
of the
of
way.
beverages. Lots
because
of
I'm
beverages.
trying to do some theater here, and
Yes.
I'm not doing it very successfully.
Lots
you
of
know?
open beverages with no
Exactly.
caps on them.
All right.
Oh, because he likes to gamble.
Buy the electronics.
Yeah. He
One
is-
day, little Mike was crossing Wisconsin Avenue with his pet dolphin. It was a magical dolphin that could live out of the water. Suddenly, Mike hailed a cab, but the cab didn't see him. And Mike and the dolphin were hit by a car.
Oh, I was hoping you would have like an O. Henry twist where the dolphin was driving the cab.
All right. You know what? Anything you'd like in the story, I'll make it up as I go along.
I'd like the Moody's in the story.
All
A
right.
pack of cigarettes.
And a pack of cigarettes.
Right in the blowhole.
Little Michael and Barb and Chuck Moody decided to go across the street to get a pack of cigarettes.
What about the dolphin?
Oh, the dolphin's already passed away due to his injuries sustained in the original car crash.
Got it.
This is a lovely. Is this the only gift we have?
No, there's more gifts. As
And
a
I'm
matter of
not
fact,
supposed to. Is this the card
on
from
the back
listener?
they say, please do not read it on the air.
Please do not read on the show. Just thank you from
very sweet.
That's very nice to be thought of.
I
This-
like that when people don't want credit.
This
That's
next
something
one,
everybody in this room could learn a little bit of.
yeah, you know what, Mike? I think of all the people that don't want credit, I'm the best at it, and I'd like you to recognize me for it. Linda, I think her name is pronounced Her. Linda Her has sent us her business card that she made on Vistaprint.
What's her name?
Linda Her.
Very
and
sweet.
she also
What's her
said-
name?
Linda Her.
Her?
Her.
Her? Not him, her.
No, not him.
Linda Her.
No.
That's a good potato chip, Rob.
Oh, Her's potato
Hers
chips?
potato
really?
chips.
Yes.
Herrs. Look at Rofo. Rofo practically dislocating his head by nodding so vigorously.
I like them a lot if you can't get
Yes,
gibbles.
Hers. Yeah.
Dear-
What's your favorite potato chip, Rob?
You know what? I think that the Lay's is a great product, and also
Oh, you're
us.
so suburban.
He is suburban.
Oh.
He takes the main one, like the Big Mac Daddy, the one that mass produces the.
You like Doritos
Hey, you know
as
what I
well?
like? I like fuck you potato chips. So burn in hell.
He's not having it today.
I like FU potato chips. Rob Spiewak's FU potato chips. That's right. With every chip, you'll burn in hell.
That's, well, a lot of chips have buffalo flavor. Mine is burn in hell.
Who predicted the second show would sound like this? This guy.
You did it on Monday.
I know,
You
I
said
know.
there was going to be a weird energy.
Yes. Made with real peanut oil. Rob Spiewak's FU potato chips. A slice of hell in every bite.
That's right.
There's
That's
a
good.
field in Iowa where potatoes grow.
In the spring, potatoes grow there.
People cuss there.
Rob Spiewak's burn in hell potato chips.
Dear Oscar, Rob, and Mike, my birthday falls on Friday, but rather than try my luck at the impression slots, I'd like to send you guys something instead. And she has a website. She's a cork dork.
A cork dork?
Cork dork,
Nice.
and you can probably Google
That's
cork dork.
pornographic or
no,
something?
no.
I hope.
Google cork dork on the internet, and you'll be able to get
Tony
yourself
said he hopes.
one of these.
See, I wouldn't hear that if I was in Florida.
Linda Her
Glad I'm in the studio
Oh,
today.
Linda
does
Her.
arts and crafts made out of wine corks.
Wow.
Here is an O for Omera,
Wow,
Cool.
look at that.
an S for Spiewak,
Nice.
and hold on,
I
but
like
wait,
cork dorks.
there's more.
I like saying cork dork.
Cork dork, cork dork.
Oh, she got my real name.
The bios, yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Which also, when she has a circle of cork around a Z, it looks like a logo for the wonderful land of Oz.
Very cool.
But these are very cool.
Does
and
it move?
No, don't break. You're gonna break
Oh,
it.
I
don't
think
break
you're
it.
breaking it.
Oh.
You just broke it.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, exactly.
What happened to it?
No, you're.
Can
It's.
you give it to me?
You're
now?
supposed to just hang it.
No.
It doesn't swivel. You just hang it on the wall. Hey, you know what?
The O and Z make my name.
Oscar's, yeah,
thank
Oscar
you. I'll put some
Ceballos.
super glue on this
But
thing.
anyway,
OZ.
happy birthday,
the
Linda.
wizard.
I want you to know that those cork dork lovely pieces of art
Thank you. I'm sorry I broke it.
lasted a long time until they
Thank
got
you
here.
I know I didn't. I thought it was a swivel.
I thought it was a
I thought it was on a
W-
swivel.
What about this
I'm
says
sorry.
it swivels?
I'm sorry. That was
He
a
wanted
mistake
it to
on
swivel. He wanted it to swivel.
I want it to swivel.
And our last gift comes from a fellow that we all know. His name is Mark Miller. You remember we didn't play hockey with him, but we managed.
Mark Miller used to go down to the ocean all the time, drive by the Chesapeake Bay Bridge, and
Yes.
Mark Miller would dine on Whitehall's famous fruit fritters.
So no, he was one of the players when we did the charity hockey classic.
Oh,
Cool.
that Mark
Good
Miller.
guy. Really good
A nice
guy.
fellow came in and he sent us gifts and he
Mother
says,
is Mrs. Miller.
"Oh yes, Mother Miller."
Mother Miller.
Oscar, he says you should open your gift first.
Okay.
As we do gift corner.
Mother Miller is mango marmalade.
There really isn't enough of Gift Corner anymore.
I like it. You know what? It's a good time we stop the show for a second and mention that to our listeners.
Thank you, Mike.
Yes, please. This
had-
cannot be emphasized enough.
We're going into the holiday season. We really this is the outlier of the holiday season. We love gifts.
We do.
We love it when you send us things. So come ahead.
Mike, should the listener be shy about sending presents?
No.
No.
They should be the opposite of shy, whatever that is.
That would be outgoing.
Outgoing, gregarious.
Yeah, Greg Arias.
Gregarious.
I'll take it, though his reputation is tarnished I shall cherish this.
What is it?
An autographed picture of Brian Williams.
Oh,
Hey!
wow. That's a great gift.
Pretty cool.
That's very, very
Thank you
nice.
From
so
Mother
much,
Miller's
sir.
Mint Marmalade.
And my gift, it says, Rob, tell the people my story. I don't know what
very
that
good.
means.
Okay,
That's
this
awesome.
is exciting. This is a real
good.
gift corner.
It is.
Really good.
It's good because
Very
we
cool.
let them stack up. And I swore that thing would have swiveled.
No.
No, you don't
No.
think? You don't
No,
think?
that doesn't even look like it should swivel.
I'm opening
Oh,
it
by
now.
the way, on today's show, I do want to give everybody a heads up if you're just tuning in and listening to this tomfoolery and hijinks, which would really drive a lot of people away. I will tell you that we are going to be interviewing Kelly Carlin, who has written a book about life with George Carlin, one of my absolute idols. I truly love George Carlin. It's a Carlin Home Companion, Growing Up with George by Kelly Carlin. We're going to talk to her on today's show. So
I don't
stay
know.
tuned for that.
I don't know where he got these, but these are fantastic. These
What
are
do we have?
vintage 1970s Jerry Labor Day telethon buttons.
Wow! Oh my God!
A stack of them.
Wow.
This one is still new in plastic.
Wow.
Wow!
Oh, I can't wait to put these on my denim jacket.
That's very, very cool.
Oh, look at that. Still in a collector's box. Lady,
You can put that next to the button that says "Candy is dandy, but sex won't rot your teeth."
I wear that one.
That's a wonderful one.
I also have one that says FBI, female body inspector.
There you go. Fantastic.
And I hold in my hand the final gift.
Gimme.
Let's see who it's for.
Gimme.
Oh, Mike, you've earned this.
Thank you. Mike, you've earned this.
All right,
Okay.
here we go.
All right. This is from Mr. Miller.
Yeah.
Yes,
Do you
Mark
feel
Miller.
at all bad for not for having the slot machines because they were tight earlier in the show and in yesterday's show?
You mean that I didn't do impressions?
Yes.
Yes, I didn't give the listeners what they deserved.
Now
No,
you're getting
it's
gifts.
fine.
Now
It's
you're
fine.
getting Gifts.
You will hear
But
the.
I was very funny on yesterday.
You'll hear the Ben Carson impression on a promo today.
All right,
So-
let's see. I deserve. Oh wow.
What is it?
This.
I'm getting that guilt vibe. I'm getting that
Really?
this might be like too nice.
No.
Might be too nice.
Can't be nicer than my buttons.
Well, it's in a jewelry case. Okay.
Oh, Mike, you love jewelry.
Oh my! Look at this. It's a Jack Cassidy star.
Wow.
It's a Jack
like
Cassidy star.
set in the black marble that they have on the Walk of Fame.
Take a look at that with a picture. Jack Cassidy. Oh my
That is
God.
That's
awesome.
too cool.
That
Wow.
is creative.
Yeah.
That is
We're going to
awesome.
put that in a place of honor here in the
Yes.
studio.
Oh, well, thank you, Mark Miller,
Yeah,
very
thank you,
much.
Mark
And
Miller.
also to Linda Herr for sending us Oscar's initials.
Very sweet.
I love it very much. You know what? I
Now,
hate
we didn't communicate that efficiently here. This is a replica of Jack Cassidy's star that you would find on Hollywood Boulevard, and he cut out a little picture of Jack Cassidy to go with it. I don't know if he did that on his own. I think he did. That's the extra something that he did with this gift.
Is it
But let me
set
show
in
it.
black granite like
It's
the real
in black
deal?
granite. It
Oh,
is in
that
black
is
granite.
so cool.
Very, very nice, isn't it? And then it's got Jack Cassidy right underneath that. Isn't that lovely?
Yeah, that looks like a commemorative item right there.
Yes, that's
And
wonderful.
I have to think that's sort of a narrow casting type gift. There's not a lot of people out there buying the Jack
Do you
Cassidy
think
star.
there's a store on Hollywood Boulevard, Rob, where they have all of these, of all the stars, that you can get a replica star? Obviously, this is someone that went to Hollywood. To go
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I say? I say hooray.
Hooray.
Hooray for Hollywood.
I say huzzah. I have a strange desire right now to sit in my Barker lounger with my cigarette lighter and fall asleep, causing a horrible fire.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
And I'm getting pretty sick of guys named Todd. You know, it's just a goofy f***ing name. Hi, what's your name? Todd. I'm Todd. And this is Scott. And Blake and Blair and Blaine and Brent. Where are all these goofy f***ing boys' names coming from? Taylor, Tyler, Jordan, Flynn. These are not real names. You want to hear a real name? Eddie. Eddie's a real name. Whatever happened to Eddie? He was here a minute ago. Joey and Jackie and Johnny and Phil, Bobby and Tommy and Danny and Bill. What happened? Todd and Cody and Dylan and Cameron and Tucker. Hi, Tucker. I'm Todd. Hi, Todd. I'm Tucker. Tucker sucks. and Tucker's friend Kyle.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Rob Spiewak, Oscar Santana. And now, from his easy chair, here's Mike.
We are coming to you live from the Cappy Pfeiffer studio in the heart of our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. On the air and online worldwide, the Mike O'Mara Show is a daily radio show and podcast with the greatest listeners on the planet because they get it, and if you're here, you do too. Our show today is brought to you by Vistaprint.
Aha!
Vistaprint, baby. The other night when we were at the meet and greet in Glover Park, we had a lot of people handing us their Vistaprint business cards. It's still, in my opinion, is the coolest thing that you can go out to a social event or a party or anywhere or a business meeting and lay your card on somebody. And the best way to do it and the cheapest way to do it and the most skilled way to do it is with Vistaprint. $9.99, and all you have to do is enter the promo code TMOS at checkout, and you get 500 cards. 500 business cards for under $10. You cannot beat that. It is the best way to promote a small business. Choose from Vistaprint's great templates. They got a bunch of them, and you can do it that way. Or you could add your own logo and your own artwork. And it's easy to make a card that conveys you, just like the Angel of Software Death, or whatever that was. What
the
was that?
Software Angel of Death.
The Software Angel of Death. They even do banners, apparel, flyers, postcards, everything at Vistaprint. You'll love it. Vistaprint has the best customer service. Just remember to use the code TMOS at checkout, and you'll get 500 business cards for $9.99. Great quality, easy to customize. Visit Vistaprint.com, create your card, and use the promo TMOS at checkout, and we thank you.
Yay!
So that was a clip from George Carlin, and a little later on the show, we're going to be talking to Kelly Carlin, the daughter of George, the only child of George Carlin, and fascinating book that I got a chance to start. I have not finished it yet. It's a Carlin Home Companion, growing up with George, and
revealing. Very, very revealing and insightful. Yeah.
You know, George Carlin is one of the people that I think about, and I need a little level on this, Rob. It just seems things are wacky again. Done it again. But anyway.
Touch nothing.
Okay. The thing about George Carlin, much like Robin Williams, iconic. And comedians, I think by their very nature, are kind of prickly people. They live in a very strange world. But the word that comes to mind, I think, needy. There are a couple of things in the George Carlin book that I want to ask Kelly about that I share with him, and because I think disc jockeys are just comedians light. I think that's exactly what
that's fair.
It is.
And the thing about phone conversations, that he didn't like to talk on the telephone.
Yeah.
And you guys know how much I really love talking on the telephone.
Oh, you're fun on the phone.
It's horrible. I wish I liked it. I wish I liked. You know, there are a couple of people that are in a very exclusive club, and that is people that I can maintain a fairly lengthy phone conversation with. One of them, I probably mentioned it on the show. Do you know who I can actually have a long conversation with on the phone?
I would guess maybe Jimmy.
Jimmy Cerrito.
Yeah.
Jimmy Cerrito I can chat with for a while. It's strange. I just have I have no problems doing that. Oscar's probably in the club too, because we'll talk, but Oscar and I will talk a lot of business, and we will do that.
I actually lay out an outline before I call Mike.
Do you really?
Yes.
No,
a PowerPoint?
Yes, because I know it's it's much like
That's funny.
You're breaking through a security system with lasers.
Yes.
And
You're hanging from wires.
If you're not precise,
yeah, you got to get in there.
Go all wrong.
Yeah.
Oh God. Well, anyway, it's it's just strange. I'm trying to think what the
Say
other.
hello. Ask about the family.
That's right. Allow 40 seconds for small talk.
Talk about our forecast.
Terrible. I hate that. Do you like to talk on the telephone, Rob?
If I'm in the mood, yeah. And you know what I love to talk on the phone is in the car.
Right.
Because I've got, a good amount of time in the car every day. I'll talk to my dad in the car every morning.
I talk to Cappy Pfeiffer on the phone a lot, but that's because I owe her my life. So she falls into that category.
But I would rather be in person with someone we have made a living talking to each other.
Yes.
We're horrible on the phone together.
Yes, we are.
Absolutely horrible.
Absolutely. Yeah. Rob and I don't even know how to get off the phone with each other.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So we'll do the.
No, you hang up.
Yeah. Thank you.
Racing to the cradle.
You hang up.
Yeah.
Pony, I have a question for
I
you.
love you
Yes,
for
sir.
I don't know why I'm asking you this, but are you a phone person?
I
Do you-
am not a phone person at all.
He hates the phone.
Despise
the
it.
phone?
Hey.
Okay.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, he doesn't even like texting because it involves a phone.
Right.
Yeah. yeah.
It's very
What about, do you, with other people, Oscar, do you linger on the
I
phone?
love to gab.
You love to gab on
Yes.
the phone? See,
I
that's-
like talking
And
to
if you
people.
do that, and that's why you're a networker also.
Yeah.
If you like, Don was a better networker than I was. He loved to be on the phone. Mm-hmm. He talked on the phone all the time. He was doing that all the time. I can't stand it, and that's why I think I'm probably not a great networker. If I went like to a convention, I could meet 50 people that were like key to my career, and then the next day I go down to breakfast and I'd see one of them and I go, "Hey, how are you?"
La, la, la.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I want to be better. There are a lot of. I'm constantly striving to improve myself. But thank you, Rob. Thank
It's
you.
also, I think it comes with the territory because you're such a big celebrity.
No,
that-
I'm not a big celebrity. Stop it! I hate it when you say
There
that.
is a dynamic that when he says that, it brings me such joy. He
I
did it to
hate
you on
that.
Tech
Stop
411.
Please.
This week you said, I'm a public figure. Oscar said, you're a celebrity.
Yeah,
He said,
thank you.
shut up.
Thank you.
Yeah, but you're used to people just coming and giving you information, and you're used to people really deciding when you get to decide when you want to interact with them.
Yeah, that is true. But it is an area of my life that I constantly would think about wanting to improve. When we're up in Maine is a great example.
Right.
That I probably said this on the show. I bumped into people that I hadn't seen in decades. And when I would meet people that have been up there for decades, and I know that I'm going to spend more time up there and I'm going to interact, Carla's horrible at names too. So we actually got into the habit of putting names in her phone where we would remember the people that we had met.
Do you attach a description to it?
She would just write the full name, and we said that's Karen, and her husband's Carl, and
That's
her
so
father's
smart.
name
That
is
is so
Ralph.
And
smart.
Scott
And
and Todd and
Tyler.
Eddie and Tyler.
And I would actually
Kyle.
And I realized that I will be going back down to Florida,
And you got to
when
start all over again?
And I used to bitch about the fact that I would reintroduce myself to people, and I have no business in bitching about that because I'm that guy too.
But Mike, in your defense, when you move back to Florida, it's like a new season is in cast of any sitcom.
The Real World?
Yeah, but they changed the principles
Well,
because some have died.
Many have died.
It's not that guy.
That's right.
That's right, Oscar. 9 or 10 of them have dropped dead during the
And
4
also-
months that I have been
Perfect.
away.
And also, it's going to be tough because they're going to say, well, I guess he was too busy for the funerals.
Yeah, but I'm not that close to anybody down there.
But
I'm
I've
got maybe. I'm not even close to my next door neighbor down there,
I am
who I
so,
believe may be moving.
but alive.
Yeah, we're very much alive.
And God bless
I
him.
think.
Where's he going?
Don't know anything about it.
Underground?
I'll probably be down there. I'll probably be down there for 2 months, and I won't be able to have an answer for you.
I have been bad with names for so long that
I'm the worst.
I used to in my dorm. And when you're on your dorm floor, we were on the 3rd floor.
Right.
You should know everyone on your floor. You're with them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
There was about 5 or 6 guys that I just called buddy and friend.
And it's hard. So you're
Yeah.
bad with names too.
I'm horrible
But
with
even
names.
on that level, on my end, the bit always goes, and with the guys on Big O and Dukes, that I say hello to somebody, and then they say, we've met 1,000 times.
Yeah.
So the three of us, none of us do the name thing very
But you
well.
see,
I
and
should
that's
be
weird
better.
is that I am so weirdly able to remember stuff about movies and TV
I can
and
remember
stuff.
faces.
Faces.
let me just do that. And here's the
Face.
hypocrisy of it. I know that I hate it when it's when I'm on the receiving end of it.
It's
Of course. Oh,
I
it's the
hate it
worst.
too. So I mean, I think
Carlos? Diego?
But every now and then I do get recognized by someone, and I had this moment with my dad the other day. We were at a Super Bowl once, and we were trying to scare up guests for the Super Bowl show.
right.
And I went up, and who's on a stage actually doing a TV show with the great George Michael, but Sonny Jurgensen.
Okay.
Nice.
And as he's coming down, I said, Sonny, and of course he's got people 3 deep all around him.
Right,
And
right.
I go up to him, I say, Sonny, I hate to bother you. My name is Rob Spiewak. I produce the Don and Mike show. We'd love to. And he stopped me. He held up his hand. He says, I know who you are.
Good moment, though.
It was a great moment. It was a great.
I know you.
I know who you are.
Yeah.
I'll do the show.
I know this outlaw.
Oh, that's Wayne Newton.
You know what? This. It's funny you brought that up because being back in Washington,
Yeah.
I had the distinct pleasure of listening to the Washington Redskins radio broadcast. That is, I mean, it was. I didn't think that could get worse.
Oh, I know.
But so now it's
They booted Sam.
They booted Sam. You've got Chris Cooley in there, right?
Yes, yeah.
And then you've got Rick Doc Walker, who, in my humble opinion, is the best part of the broadcast.
Okay.
But he's not up in the booth, right? He's down on the sideline.
Sideline guy,
because
because
the way that goes.
the booth is Sonny and Larry and
So
Chris,
you have
right?
Larry, who I didn't think Larry could puke more. And listen, Larry is a nice man. He is a very nice guy.
He was always great to me.
But at the same time, Washington Redskins, it is that you get that for the whole game. And then you have Chris Cooley, who a very nice guy.
Yes.
But, I think I'm not the only one that has said that, as far as a broadcaster, not a pure broadcaster. And then Sonny is AWOL.
Yeah.
Sonny says nothing
He's at the
during
buffet
those
half the game, I think.
Well, what happens
Right?
is
Smoke a cigar.
Sonny is like if you had a 3-year-old up there that if you want him to do the broadcast, you have to keep Sonny entertained. If it's like a slow defensive drive where it's not a lot going on, Sonny is counting stars. He doesn't care.
Doesn't even talk.
He said, well, yeah.
So the game's got to be actually riveting.
And it's got to be offensively
he
oriented.
won't be enough of a professional broadcaster to actually make the game
I have
intriguing.
seen him sit in that booth and take a full 90 seconds to put his binoculars down and balance his cigar on the eye holes of the binoculars while the game is going on. Hot dog.
I used to live for Sonny to break Sam's balls.
Oh, the best.
Right? Because he would just sit there and he's like, are they fighting in between this game? Like, what is happening?
Oh, he says, well, that's not how I remember it.
Incredible. Don't ask me to figure out sports broadcasting because I just don't. I talked about the Red Sox team that was up there and how they canned a guy that was 15 years with the Red Sox, Don Orsillo. He immediately was picked up by the San Diego Padres.
And a great get for them.
And now he's going to San Diego with a sweet deal, getting paid more money.
Where's the weather better?
It's incredible. I don't know. And this probably speaks to the broadcast business that, we talked about networking. I can bring it full circle here. If you know how to network and you're plugged in, that's the ball game.
Also,
that's game, set, and match.
If you're a good guy.
If you're a good guy.
Because this business is so incestuous that you never know when you're going to turn a corner again. And the one thing that I loved, even when I left CBS Radio, and I remember even in the doldrums of unemployment, I said to my family, I said to my friends, I said, I never stepped on anyone's back.
Right.
I never stabbed anyone in the back. I never did anything I wasn't proud of. Now, I've talked about things I wasn't proud of on the air, but I didn't screw anybody.
Yeah.
And you know what? And I can relate to that totally because we had that on the wall at the old Don and Mike show. Oh, yeah.
Well,
no problem.
I remember.
No problem. Catch you on the flip side.
I did my best to not make any enemies, and it really, by the time it got to the end, it made it so much easier for them to fire me because I was so well liked.
You were so well liked.
I was.
It's nice to be liked.
It is.
Well, I'm suitably depressed right now. We'll come back and chat. This is the.
We'll do another break
We're
before.
doing one more break
Diego,
before
go.
we get Kelly Carlin. We're going to talk to our Go Diego Go intern Adrian.
Yay.
In the spotlight when we come back on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Hello, this is Raj Patel, and I've been doing a lot of thinking lately about Rob Spivak's bag. Rob loves lots of things, but what he loves more than anything else in the world is having listeners fill up his bag week after week with wonderful messages. Would you be a sweetie and drop Rob a message for his bag? Send it right along to rob@mikeomerashow.com. Don't forget, with 2 B's, not 1 but 2 B's. Who knows, Rob might reach into his bag and pluck out a message from Y-O-U. Please help Rob with his bag, because if you do not, he might ignore it and then it will start to smell very not good.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by ZipRecruiter.com. Hiring qualified employees is one of the hardest parts about being a business owner. It's also extraordinarily important. You know that. Face it, your company is only as good as the people you hire, so you need to hire the best. But to find them, you can't rely on one single job posting. You got to live in the now. You got to get with the program. When you're already short-staffed, you don't have the time to deal with dozens of different job sites until now. Enter ZipRecruiter.com, where you can post to over 100 job sites with one single click and instantly be matched to the best candidates from over 6 million resumes. You heard me, 6 million. Just one post, and within 24 hours, you sit back and you watch your candidates appear in ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. It's easy and it's time-saving. That's the most important part. Real ZipRecruiter clients say that ZipRecruiter takes the torture out of the hiring process. It is faster, easier, and it's the source for their best employees. They have helped 400,000 businesses. You should give it a try at ZipRecruiter.com. Try it today, and it's free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/TMOS and get started. That's ZipRecruiter.com/TMOS. Don't wait. Try it for free right now at ZipRecruiter.com/TMOS.
Perfect.
Yes. Welcome back to the show. We have a new intern that I have been wanting to spotlight for quite some time. We've talked to him briefly. He's Adrian. I give him the nickname Go Diego Go.
Thank you, Mike. I'm honored.
Yeah, you should be. And you have your own theme song now, which is very, very exciting. Do we have the?
It's if it would play the. It's. I'm having. There we are.
Here we go.
Go Diego, go everybody.
Deep inside the jungle where nature's running.
Pony, have you ever danced on this show? No.
Wonderful. We were talking, and we were actually riffing between breaks about cartoons.
Yeah.
This particular cartoon is the one that my son is addicted to. He likes Dora the Explorer, but he loves Go Diego Go.
Do you remember the name of the Jaguar yet?
No.
I can't remember it. It's killing me.
Do you know? Anybody
Hector.
know?
That's right.
Not Hector.
It's Adrian.
Hector is such a Hispanic name. Hector!
That's actually my brother's name.
Oh, nice.
Hector is your...
It is. No lie.
Well,
That's
that's
good.
a shocker.
Playing to type. That's
it.
good.
So, Diego, where do you hail from as far as, are you a lifelong D.C. person?
I am,
Yep. Okay.
Born and raised. I grew up in Reston, then I moved to Sterling, where I currently am.
Okay, and...
Reston is a planned community, Mike.
You are Adrian. Your brother's name is Hector.
Yes.
And so where do your parents, are they...
They're not from
first
here.
generation or second generation or...
Both my parents were born in El Salvador, then they came over here.
That means
That's where they met.
The Salvador.
Since we have this opportunity, then I think I probably can speak for Adrian when I say, fuck you, Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Amen.
much. How do you feel about that? Seriously, being having an immigrant family. How do you feel about that? I mean, we've talked to Oscar about that, but I want to get a fresh
Are
perspective
you
on it.
ready to make America great?
Again?
I honestly don't mind him. I mean, I like entertainment, so he's entertaining. So
Okay.
I honestly do not mind him at all.
Because, I mean, so many people got PO'd about that. So,
Are you old enough to vote?
I am. The last election was my first election.
And you were allowed to vote?
I was,
That's
yes.
good.
Now, how did you hear about the Mike O'Mara Show? How did you come to be an intern on the... What are you doing? Why Pony and Rob are doing like their own show
No,
here right
it's
now.
just it was sort of under the radar when I asked if he was allowed to vote. I was implying, is he in the country legally?
Okay, God.
And
I
I'm
was
glad
born
he
here.
is.
I was
you
born
know, I
here.
apologize for him. I apologize for him, you bastard.
That was brilliant because in an HR interview, you're not allowed to say, "Are you illegal?"
Yes.
Right?
So you would just ask him, "Hey, did you vote?"
Yeah.
You know what? I would file suit against Rob and do it right now.
Yeah, take the
can't
company for
afford
all
it.
it's worth.
I can't afford it.
So you fit in very quickly here on the show. You're
Thank you.
a very, very good intern. And how did you hear about us? And
How
how
did
did
you
you hear
discover
about
the
the show? How
program?
did you discover us?
It was a long time ago. I was a freshman in high school, and I actually started listening to Big O and Dukes first.
Oh, thank you.
Ah,
And
very
then,
good, very good. Make
af-
America great again. Speak of the devil.
Where did you go? Where did you go to high school?
Parkview High School in Sterling, Virginia.
What is their mascot? I can't remember.
The Patriots.
The Parkview Patriots.
Yes.
It all comes full circle. Make America great again. Big
Exactly.
Shooter, his campaign manager. You know?
I never made these connections before. This is awesome.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's an interesting dynamic, being that Oscar works on two shows, the Big O and Duke show and this show, and could not work with two people more different. The only thing Chad and I have in common is a weight issue. That's pretty much it.
That's true.
You know? And we're also narcissists.
And great guys.
We also don't suffer fools.
Yeah.
And
Wit,
we also
talent.
and we have a temper.
Yes, I've seen it.
That's the way that goes. That's where it ends. So you listen to the Big O and Duke show,
Yes.
and that's how you heard about the Mike O'Mara show.
Correct. Yeah. When Oscar and Chad moved over to middays,
Right.
you guys would come on after them. So
Right.
I would just keep the radio on and keep listening to you guys. So that's how I found out about the Mike O'Mara show.
Did you get a chance to hear the Big O and Duke's birthday broadcast, which is one of their more legendary,
At Oscar's house? Oh, yeah.
That was one of the great.
I stayed home from school that day to hear that.
That's
Wow.
fantastic.
That's cool.
Do you have a girlfriend?
I do not. I am single right now.
Good news, ladies.
Very good.
Yes.
Have you had a girlfriend
Pony and
recently?
Rofo.
Or?
Not recently, no.
Okay. And what are you looking to get out of your experience with the Mike O'Mara show?
Experience, some knowledge, just getting more comfortable speaking on the microphone. That's what I would love to get from this.
Rofo, being the one of the senior interns on the show, is there any information you would like to share with Go Diego Go
Because,
about doing his job?
Rofo is really our success story.
Yes.
He really is. Because he started where they've all... Be nice. Be nice. He's executive producing for the Tony Perkins show.
You know, sometimes when you lie like water. It's like watching water flow.
There is not an untruth in there.
No,
the fact
he
is our success story.
He has done very well, and
Yes.
he is developing mad skills, and that is
Yeah.
true. And Rofo, when Tony's show came to being,
Right.
right on, Oscar kind of farmed him into the producer
Stepped
role.
up to the plate.
Yes, absolutely. That's right. That's with
Stop
Gary.
it.
Did you ever dream that you would be working with Gary Stein?
I had no idea.
That's good.
But it's a nice found surprise.
So what can you tell?
Isn't they're the best, aren't they?
The best.
The nice found surprises are the best.
Nice found surprise.
That's a nice found surprise as the
So
entire
something to
world
do
is going internet.
So you substitute ashtray? So you substitute ashtray?
I swear to God,
There
I
it
still
is.
think he's high.
Do you have any questions for Diego?
Or advice.
Yes.
The advice is always be early and always say yes. And that's absolutely serious.
Always be early and always say yes. That warms my
Good
heart.
stuff.
That's why I like this boy.
Good stuff.
That's why. But I like Diego too. And Mac, I have grown to like. Late to the appearance, he really wasn't. He'd gotten there earlier.
He had already been and gone and been and gone.
Because of my preconceived notions, and that is because he has been habitually late to this broadcast, has he not?
He always has, and he admits to it. And there's something that people that are habitually late, sometimes they're excited about it, and they just say, my whole family's like that. And that doesn't make it okay.
He's learning, though.
He is,
He's
and I
learning,
will tell you
still a
this,
young guy.
Mike, I will say this. I can't look at you when I say it.
Yes.
But I'm going to say this.
Right.
Mac is another one of our success stories.
Oh, come on.
No, and I will tell you why. He has stepped up during a couple bonus shows. He's co-hosting Tech 411, and although you may not be dazzled,
he put together the Simpsons video, right?
Mike, keep in mind it wasn't that long ago that I yelled at Pony for leaving me in the room with him alone because I couldn't do it. He has now become more socially apt.
Right.
He can handle it,
Right.
and he's doing better.
Competent.
Yeah, he's more competent.
That's
He's
good.
always been competent,
Yeah.
but he's also always been creepy. The creepy is down. I actually had to tell him to be quiet the other day because he was talking too much.
All right, well, let's get back to Adrian because
Please.
he's got a couple more minutes.
There's a
here,
high bar.
with it.
Yes.
Adrian, and are we okay? Are we okay with this?
Yeah,
microphone?
everything's great.
Just,
You sound great. You sound great.
Now I'm super paranoid about
Be
the,
not.
the
You
mic
sound-
working. So, Adrian, are you bilingual? Do you speak Spanish?
Yes, I do.
Wonderful.
I also
Hablas
speak
español?
Latin.
Oh, Latin as
Yes.
well? Talk to us.
Talk to
Lecetne mihi ira a latrinum. That means, can I use the bathroom?
Wow.
That's all I know.
Yeah, but Latin is a dead
That's it?
language.
That's
So
it.
you- so
I
you-
took 3 years of Latin, only got to Latin 2.
Really? But you speak fluent Spanish.
I do.
Okay.
With Latin being a dead language, don't you think it would be nice if we had a moment now where Oscar and Adrian spoke in their mother tongue together?
This would be awkward.
You know,
It's gonna be
Oscar,
awkward.
Oscar loves it.
I do.
Now, why is it? I'm just curious because for people that aren't bilingual, I know that Oscar doesn't like to do it. He doesn't, you know. And I don't think I've ever, have I ever asked you what the reason
well,
is.
it's
that you
because
don't like
I'm ashamed of my accent. It
Me
should
too.
be better.
Okay, you
should
so
be better.
you think you should speak better
I should
Spanish?
speak better Spanish.
Yep, exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
It's a shame.
It
now,
is.
now let's
Because I can't roll my R's.
Shame.
you can't roll your
No,
R's.
and I'm Spanish. Like, you're supposed to be able to roll
Radio.
your R's.
Radio.
Yeah, and the ladies
Radio.
like that as well.
Yes, on the radio. All right.
I hate saying my name in Spanish because I can't say it. My own name.
Okay, if you two...
Isn't Diego?
No,
Diego?
he's talking about Adrian.
Adrian.
You've already eliminated the actual person, turned him into a character.
All right, so if you wouldn't mind, for our Spanish-speaking listeners, and there are many of them.
Mike, there are millions of them.
Could you just say some nice things about the Mike O'Mara Show?
Yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead. Here.
Just
Ladies and
you or
gentlemen,
me and
here's
Oscar.
Adrian/Diego.
Gracias por...
Oh, he's fluent.
That's it. Oh, wow. I thought I would get further than that.
You have a hard time doing it, too.
I'll ask him a question. Maybe he can answer.
Okay, very good. All right.
Si tenías que hacer sexo con uno de los gorditos aquí,
Oh, my God.
¿con quién?
He's saying something about us
Being fat. I know
bitch.
that. Either that or he's doing my Taco Bell
The
order.
two fat guys. Gorditos.
A los dos, Oscar. Rob y Mikael.
Oh, wow.
What was that?
I think he says, I'm guessing that here's what just happened. Are there fat people that work on this show? Yes, Oscar, two of them, Rob and Mike.
I said if you had to have sex with either Mike or Rob,
Right.
I called you gorditos, so yes. Who would it be? He said he picked both of you.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Good answer. Good diplomatic answer.
I
He'd
can't
never
pick
walk
between the
straight
two of you.
again.
Well, that's a few minutes of our life we're not going to get back. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, we will talk to Kelly Carlin. She's got a new book. It's called A Carlin Home Companion, Growing Up with George by Kelly Carlin. And we will do that when we come back on the Mike O'Mara Show. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by Touch of Modern. Are you ready to upgrade your style without upping the price? TouchofModern.com has all of the latest trends at the best prices anywhere. Quit following. You can be the trendsetter in your group with the latest clothing and the newest products from TouchofModern.com. Everyone will be copying your style. TouchofModern.com is the place for products and stylings for your home, your office, and your closet. We love this website. I got a great watch from TouchofModern.com. Oscar's gotten a lot of cool stuff from them as well. Touch of Modern connects directly with top designers for timeless and unique products. You'll love this website. You can spend a whole afternoon just surfing it. It's fantastic. Touch of Modern scours the globe for great stuff. They have new sales launching literally every day. It's one website that elevates your lifestyle with a single click. Right now, our listeners can get immediate access when they sign up at touchofmodern.com. That's touchofmodern.com. Do it today, because tomorrow it'll be different. That is how life rolls in the fast lane. Touchofmodern.com. Check them out and do it today. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. We are now going to be joined by Kelly Carlin. She has written the book, A Carlin Home Companion. Kelly also has a radio show on Sirius XM, The Kelly Carlin Show. She's got another, God, she's busy. She's
busy.
Waking from the American Dream on Smodcast Network, and she blogs for the Huffington Post. Kelly, you're a busy lady.
I am. Haven't done the podcast lately. I'm actually going to rejuvenate that again. But, try to keep busy. You got to in this business. You're always got to be flinging something in the air.
I feel the need for some reason to share with you that one of my favorite activities is my little George Carlin nostalgia moments, where I will just go to YouTube and I will watch his stand-up, and I think there's so many people that probably do that because it makes me feel good, and it was such a tremendous loss. There will never be another George Carlin. I'm sure you've been told that millions of times, but it is such a wonderful activity for me to do that. I don't do that with any other comedian that's not around anymore. And George Carlin, I'm 56 years old, and probably like so many people my age, I grew up with George and watched his career. It's just such a wonderful activity because there's something so totally unique about his stand-up, and I just found it fascinating. I will skip to the end of your book and tell you, when you talk about, you're in Hawaii when you're losing your dad, and then you didn't drop his name often in your life, but you're coping with your grief, and you bump into that. I wanted to reach into that book, and that ticket agent that you were dealing with, I wanted to rip that person's throat out, because you go to the airport and you say you want to get upgraded because you're dealing with this, and you just want to be, you want to be comfortable on the flight, you want to deal with your grief and all that, and you talk about the fact that this person at the time in their 40s, this ticket agent, did not recognize your father's name, and I'm practically yelling at the book, going, "God damn it! Why don't you know this?" It just it's touching, it's revealing, and I guess the first question after my little speech there that I would have for you is pretty difficult growing up in the shadow of somebody like George Carlin. It had to be a very, very interesting ride, but some pretty tough moments that you had to live through.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. It's interesting. I mean, I don't know if it's. I mean, there's kind of two different issues here. One of which is my mother's alcoholism, and then my dad's drug addiction during a certain amount of years when my mother's alcoholism was at her height. So there was that difficulty, which is difficult for anybody, any family that has to deal with that, whether it's parents or a loved one of any kind. It's like a bad curse has been put over your house. And I was young. My mother, I think, was probably an alcoholic from, the first day she took a sip of fucking alcohol when she was a kid. So, and into her 20s, and then she didn't get sober until 75 when she was, 34. So, but
was that generational? Do you think? I mean, because I think I could look back and my mom and dad. I was born in '59, and it just seems like anybody can watch Mad Men, and it was kind of
commonplace.
The culture.
It was kind of the culture with drinking and smoking, and then a lot of people.
I think it was certainly, but I think my mother was. I mean, I think it was beyond that. My mother was a day drinker, and when she drank, her personality really changed. I mean, she was textbook alcoholic personality, and was doing it to self-medicate for anxiety and depression. I mean, it's why a lot of people drink, is to change their mood. So there was that, and then there was the times in the sense that also that then when the drugs came in to my household, it was the early 70s, and that's when cocaine really became a thing, and everyone was handing my parents a little white packet.
Right,
it was the party drug and everything, and that just feeds a whole nother part of your personality, which is, greedy and selfish and angry and slightly insane with, staying up for days. And so that fed like that part of my dad, which was not healthy. And then on top of the alcohol fed my mother. And so it was, it was a bad scene. And, and I think about a lot of kids who grew up with parents like mine who were really part of the counterculture, were dealing with this stuff, big time.
Right.
I think of a lot of musicians' kids,
right.
Dealt with this, and you can read their books, and everything. So there was that. So there was that part of it, which, made us a very typical dysfunctional, codependent family. We were all in denial and walking around on eggshells. And all that kind of stuff, and I talk a lot about that.
You talk about the obvious things like the separation of having a show business parent who's constantly on the road, and you also discuss the fact that your mom survived rehab. She made it through rehab, came out on the other side. When that happened at that time in your life, how significant did your life change when your mom got clean? Did that?
It was like day and night. I mean, it was like the curse had been lifted off the village. I mean, it was, living in an oppressive alcoholic situation to suddenly your mother no longer. Me no longer having to assess her moods every day and check how much she's been drinking in order to decide what I'm going to be and who I'm going to be in front of her. I mean, my whole existence was designed around placating her and her moods, and both of their moods, when my dad was high and crazy. But he had a different, he was the rational guy, but being around an alcoholic was a very different thing. And it changed everything. I mean, it was like this huge thing had been lifted, but at the same time, I had been trained well. So all of that, worrying about other people and checking out my environment and kind of, being a chameleon no matter what the situation was, I had been already trained. And so even though it got easier at home and home life was no longer the chaotic place, and this is what happens, I think, to a lot of people, was like, where's the chaos? I only know how to deal with chaos. And so I started pursuing chaos with experimenting with drugs and hanging out with people who were, in the fast lane, for sure.
We're chatting with Kelly Carlin. She has written a book about growing up with her father, A Carlin Home Companion, Growing Up with George. It was something that was interesting in the book, and as a turbo fan of George as I am, I noticed that, and I enjoyed this transition with his comedy. I noticed, one of the little things you learn from the book is that, he definitely was curmudgeon-y in the late stages of his stand-up, and I loved that about him because he seemed to be dealing. You mentioned in the book that he's probably, dealing with some of the anxiety over his health and his own fears. I loved that incarnation of your father's stand-up. When you read this book, you realize that he's going through an awful lot during that, and you're living that with him. Did that make it tougher on the home front? We see the angry George on stage. Was he the angry George at home?
No. He channeled his outrage, and that's what it was. It was outrage on stage. He
Beautiful
used it
outrage, I should say. Absolutely. I'm sorry to
he used it as a theatrical device, and he talked about this. He used it as a theatrical device. Yes, he had little patience for what he used to call white prick businessmen in first class. He really fucking hated those business guys in first class and had a lot of. But, and that's part of his adolescent rage, too. That's part of who he was. He grew up, trying to rebel against that. His mother wanted him to become that, So he had always the adolescent rage in him, but he turned it into theatrical outrage in order to, when he saw Sam Kinison screaming at his audiences, and I write about this in the book. It's like he realized, we need to start shouting at the audience. They are that asleep. Like that's how numb they are.
Yeah.
And you have to understand that when this outrage came out was in the late 80s and the early 90s, when we had just survived 8 years of Reagan and barely survived it. I mean, it eviscerated the safety net of this country and my father's progressive ideals. And so there was a lot of pent-up rage, and it wasn't just his. I think it was collective.
Speaking of transitions, one thing you talk about in the book that I really enjoyed is when he transformed from what you described as being a comedian for his parents' generation to a comedian for his generation.
And he actually had the look. I mean, you can see the... you can see... I mean, the one of the biggest shocks I had growing up with the bearded, long-haired George Carlin was the first time I, and this is many years ago.
Yeah, like on the Ed Sullivan Show.
When I saw a clip of him, and I'm like, oh, my God. He was such a straight shooting guy. It looked like that. And that,
on the outside.
Talk about that. When did that transition happen?
Yeah, because it's fascinating.
Where he became the George Carlin that everybody knew.
Well, that was around 1969. So inside, he was always the George Carlin everybody knew. I mean, he was from day one. He'd been smoking weed since he was 14. He'd been hanging out with musicians, was a jazz fan, his whole life. And, that's who he was. But in order to make a living and to have success, and he had this plan. He wrote about it, and I write about it, this Danny Kaye plan, where he was going to be a DJ and then a stand-up and then a famous comedic actor.
Right.
So in order to do that, he had to play the game, and he was willing to play the game. And it worked really, really well for him for a while because he did get success. He did find traction, and he got a lot of success then by the late 60s. But at the same time, he was miserable because he was ready to evolve. Like all of his friends were evolving. They were all musicians, and they were all getting to speak their truth to power on stage and through their work. And he was always being told by these TV producers, oh, just do the hippy-dippy weatherman again, and it's like, I have all this other new material, and they wouldn't let him do it. So, yeah, and what happened was a couple of different things, one of which was he did drop acid a couple of times, and it changed his values. He really saw, like, why am I walking around in this false life when, you know, this is the true person I am? And it gave him the balls to leap. And which he did. You know, he was still booked. He decided to make the leap, but he was still booked in places like the Playboy Club and stuff like that.
Right.
And he was so desperately trying to get fired. I mean, I guess there's a show, and I guess we have it on tape somewhere, where he's actually like lying underneath a piano and like describing what the underbelly of a piano looks like to his audience.
to lose the gig.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to do with that. You know, the thing, it's funny listening to you talk and remembering the book where you talk about the teaching moments that you had with your dad where he would teach you things. And I think one of the things I truly love about George Carlin's comedy is it is almost like you are getting a lesson.
Yeah.
That was his comedy. He was teaching us up there. Yeah, he was making us laugh, but he was teaching us a lot at the same time. And one of the touching parts of the book is when you talk about the wonderful teaching moments you had with your dad. Talk about some of those, because it was really, I thought that was a wonderful part of this book.
Yeah, he was professorial, wasn't he?
Absolutely.
You know, when
Absolutely.
you think about it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he would. There'd be these moments in like our collective cultural experience where he would like really want to make sure that like I understood what was going on, even though it was beyond my years in a few ways, you know. And
Right.
and I talk about it in the book, like, you know, him waking me up to watch the Apollo moon landing,
So cool.
even though I was young, you know, I was around 6, and I was, you know, I got it, but, you know, kind of, but he was so like, you got to get this, you got to see this. And then, like, you know, in 72, when we went to Kent State, and he took me by where the memorial for the kids were, you know, that had been shot by the National Guard, and like
Or
really
dead in
trying to
Ohio.
explain to me, what was going on, like in the country about Vietnam and everything, because, you know, I was a kid. I mean, who really pays attention to that stuff when you're 9? But he would really try to like make me understand that, you know, that certain groups in our country have been oppressed from day one, and he had a great affinity and just a real sense of injustice for, you know, black people in America and the black experience. He'd grown up right next to Harlem, so it was a big part of his childhood. And he just really always, you know, wanted to transfer those values to me.
Did you, was it after his death that you truly embraced all of us out here, the wonderful fans of George Carlin? Because, I mean, I think that's kind of the way it went down for you, right? That this is, you've gotten through this by reaching out to his fans and embraced them. I think that's terrific.
Yeah, I mean, really what happened was the fans reached out to me, and I mean, you know, my dad lived his life, and he had his career and his experience, and, you know, by the time he died, and that's part of, as you know, what the book is about, is me finding my own light, you know, and really finding my own way and no longer borrowing his buzz, as I say.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a huge part of my journey, and still is. You know, I mean, writing this book has been me walking the path of that, finding my truth, telling it. But yes, when he died, I never really thought about his fans. I mean, I had experiences with him and encountering fans and things like that, and people would you know, be blown away when they found out who my dad was.
Right.
But yeah, like especially the comedians calling me and like crying on the phone with me, and like me getting like, wow, like my dad, like I really did share my dad. The first time someone thanked me for sharing my dad with the world, I'd never really thought about it that way. And they were like, thank you for sharing your dad. Thank you for letting us have him. And I was like, I mean, it broke me up emotionally so much, because it's like, oh, I'd never really thought of that. And yeah, I guess I did have to share him. I guess that is why, you know, there was a part of always a longing to be with him. And so when my dad died and these fans and these comedians just kind of surrounded me, like in virtual reality online and then in my real life also, it really helped me. It helped me a lot just to survive the pain of grief, because grief can be it's an actual physical pain you go through.
I know. I've been there. When I lost my dad, I had the same feeling. Absolutely.
Yeah, you get it. And to really to be lifted up by that and to be embraced, and then for them to really, especially the comics, you know, to really get like, We love you for who you are, and we're your champion, and we're excited about you finding your voice and your place in the world.
You know, the word that
And,
comes to mind, Kelly, is compassion, and I think
Yeah.
that one of the things that with his progressive politics, I don't want to get too political on
Right.
this, but we share that. I'm a progressive as well, and I think that when a word that comes into my world more now is compassion, and I think one of the reasons these comedians did reach out to you, and you'll find this out by reading the book, he showed a tremendous amount of compassion to other comedians, something that know we, especially in this business, we don't really think comedians are like that.
And
but
generous.
But he was very generous and compassionate to other comedians, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was one of the most generous humans I've ever encountered. Lewis Black is another one. I mean, it's a person who gives their time always. And I found out after he died that he was like generous with his time in interesting ways. Like he'd be like interviewed by like the local college kid who's like also doing open mics, and my dad would, the guy would say, "Oh, I'm doing open mics," and my dad would say, "Oh, what's your set about?" And he'd like go over his set with the kid, and then he'd get his number or email address, and he'd like check in with the kid.
Wow.
3 or 6 months later, and like, how's the open mics going? Are you progressing? Are you still getting up on stage? And I had no idea my dad did this. My dad's time was usually so compartmentalized and so like, here's my work, here's my downtime, here's my travel time.
Right.
And, I was always trying to fit in like a lunch with my dad every 6 weeks. And when I found out this about my dad, I was like, holy shit. Like, I had no idea.
That is so amazing. It really, it's really not just for fans of George Carlin, but I think for anybody that wants to deal with their loss in their life. And I found the book very informative for that too, and lots of similarities. And I think it's just it's a really wonderful,
it is.
Love letter to his fans as well. And if you even if you're a moderate fan of George Carlin, you're going to love this book. Kelly, a terrific story, and I really love this book, A Carlin Home Companion, Growing Up with George. One thing, what would you want everybody to know about your dad that nobody would know that you'd like to share with us before we let you go?
Yeah, I guess that that he wasn't that angry man that people saw on stage, the last part of his life, that he had a lot of joy, and he was very sentimental, actually, extremely sentimental. I mean, after my mom died and he was with Sally Wade, he wrote her a love note every single day of their relationship, and they were together 10 years. I mean, what kind of guy isn't a sappy guy who does that? That's what my dad was.
Beautiful.
Total sappy guy, and was in every way. I mean, I found his calendars after he died, and I would see like notes in it, like Kelly's first day in her first house. He would like remember these moments.
That's incredible.
Yeah, really, really sentimental, really sweet.
Well, I'll say it too. Thank you for sharing your dad with us.
Yes.
And really, there will never, ever be another George Carlin. And you're doing your dad proud right now. And thanks so much for taking the time to come on with us. Good luck with the blogging. Good luck with the podcasting and the Sirius show and the book and all that good stuff. Kelly Carlin, George's only child. We are delighted to have you on, and good luck with everything.
Thank you guys so much for having me today.
Take care.
Pleasure. Have a good day.
We will take a break, and when we come back, it's Oscarazzi. If you're a Carlin fan, you got to read that book.
It's a great
absolutely
book.
Terrific. We'll have Oscar coming up right here on the Mike O'Mara Show.
This week on the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show.
I know that one of your competitors, Donald Trump, has had a lot of success with his hats.
Yes.
And if you were to get a Dr. Ben Carson hat made, I know where you could get it. Is at the shop called Lids.
Lids, a very popular shop with hats that they have there. I have several prototypes.
Oh, you do?
Yes, from my hats here. Ben Carson, we don't want another Hitler.
Oh, that's good.
Whoa.
That's kind of my theme.
Sure.
That doesn't roll off the tongue, though.
Right. Ben Carson, he cuts heads apart.
Oh, no, that doesn't really work either.
I think that's a step in the right direction.
That really
though.
doesn't talk about your brand, though.
Yeah.
How about this? And this is my favorite one right here.
Yes.
This is America. Vote Ben Carson.
Open your eyes.
The Mike O'Mara Bonus Show, because 5 hours a week just ain't enough. Always available at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Yes, sir.
We also got to mention, in addition to Ben Carson, on the bonus show this weekend, we played Cards Against Humanity, and it does not disappoint.
Yes.
It's good stuff.
It's filthy is what it is.
It's dirty.
Disgusting. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. I love to wake up in the morning because I love waking up to Harry's. Now I wake up to a better shave and a better razor that feels great in my hand, and it feels great on my face. I wake up knowing that I didn't spend a fortune on razor blades. It's such a great deal. No more money down the drain. No more lousy razors. I love Harry's. You will love Harry's.com. I signed 2 nights ago at our meet and greet in Glover Park. I actually signed a Harry's razor box.
Oh, that's great.
For a woman.
A woman.
That's right. I absolutely do. She loves the product. You will too. Harry's bought a razor factory, and they're fantastic. They're all the way over in Germany. They ship it direct to you. That's how they keep the prices down. Say goodbye to choosing between expensive brands or cheap disposables, and say hello to Harry's. High-quality blades at a price you will love. Go to harrys.com right now.
He's right, you know.
And enter the code TMOS at checkout to get $5 off your first purchase. That's a month's worth of shaving for just $10 with the TMOS code at checkout. Remember, harrys.com and the code TMOS. It's the best. Before we get Oscarazzi here, let me...
Jazz?
Oh.
All right. Hold on. We're going to do this as we're doing the show. Mrs. O'Mara is calling me. So,
okay. Let me kill the music.
Please.
Hello, Mrs. O'Mara. We're doing the show right now. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. I'm at the dental office.
You're
getting my teeth cleaned.
Oh, how exciting!
Oh, you know, I saw you last night. Your teeth look great.
Rob says your teeth look great, honey.
I want to keep them looking great.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I need to go to the dentist soon too.
Yeah, you
been a while.
Mike. You really do need to go to the dentist
it's
with
been
your
a while.
wooden teeth.
With my what? With my wooden teeth. Thank you, darling.
Sweet.
I appreciate that. Well, great checking in. I'll call you after the show, darling. Bye-bye. Love you too.
Mike is in for a sharpening.
How about that? She comes on for 5 minutes and does that. All right.
Your teeth are as strong as oak.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Oscarazzi.
Fellas.
Hey, Oscar.
Ever fluid story. I'm just getting the latest now. This is from the USA Today. Lamar Odom apparently had used cocaine.
Okay.
Come out, right? And used up to 10 sexual performance supplements before his hospitalization.
10 different ones or 10 doses?
10 doses, they're saying.
Okay, wow.
And again, ever-changing story. He's still in critical condition. You mentioned in yesterday's show that the Kardashians are there by his side. I want to mention that some NBA players, including his former teammates and Kobe Bryant, stopped by to see him because they're doing the Summer League in Las Vegas. So they went there right after the camp. I think that... regardless of the addiction and the destruction that we've heard of and we've actually, highlighted here on the program, I don't think a guy like that isn't a nice guy if all these people go out of their way to actually
it does speak well of him, doesn't it?
With all the demons,
Yes.
he's a good guy, and it's a very sad story.
Super sad, super sad. Moving on, guys. John Stamos is going to be charged with 1 count of DUI and faces up to 6 months of jail.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Will this affect the sitcom?
Drugs are found in his system. Have you seen Grandfather by chance?
I have not seen his new TV show. I have not seen that.
It's got the Drake and Josh kid in it.
I have watched every episode, and I give it 2 thumbs up.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, he's going to be somebody's bitch.
Well,
John
2 thumbs up
Stamos, even
somewhere
at
else.
his advanced age, John Stamos is a wonderful prison bitch.
Very pretty.
Absolutely.
Always has been pretty.
3 months after he checked out of rehab, Stamos has been charged in the DUI case. 50
Uncle Jesse's gonna squeal.
He's 52. I think he's been squeaky clean. He might get a pass in the long run. Not a great thing to happen in your career, but
House arrest.
Yeah, probably.
House arrest.
You know what? He likes, I don't think he likes more celebrities. He likes being John Stamos. Twice, Carrie has not spent a lot of time in Los Angeles, but on 2 separate trips, she spotted him.
She spotted
Really?
John Stamos.
That's
Twice.
A-list in my eyes.
Yeah, so, but
Hey,
you know what?
Is that a coincidence?
Well, she
Stalker.
was knocking on his door.
Very good.
But no, like just out and about in town. I think he likes driving around being John Stamos. Yeah. And you know what? I think I would too.
Yeah, why not?
If I had hair.
And
Why not?
wasn't he a sex addict too? Something like that.
There are
Yeah.
stories
I
that
thought it
he
was yogurt.
had a place in Malibu, and I would hear it on different shows, and guys would stop by his house, just full of models. It's full of models.
Mm.
Stacked
God.
to the rafters.
Making breakfast, doing the laundry, you know. Yeah, come on down here, honey. I'm ready for you now.
Yeah, when you get to the point in your life when you're tired of Rebecca Romaine, it's good.
Hey, amen.
Things are good.
Absolutely.
Kaylee Cuoco.
Cuoco, I think.
Kaylee Cuoco.
Yeah.
Yes. The Big Bang Theory, one of the biggest shows in the world, as you guys know. I never really got into it.
I never got into it.
Me neither.
I'm totally pissed that they get as much money as they get.
How many millions an episode?
Insane money.
Yes.
Oh, as you know, she's filed for divorce from her estranged husband a year and a half. It was super quick, right?
Okay.
And apparently there are rumors now that she had a secret fling with one of her Big Bang Theory co-stars. Allegedly, she's denying them, but Johnny Galecki would be the co-star that
Really?
she's linked to. Yes.
Wow, he doesn't seem like the type for her.
How late are we on the show?
We can do about one more, Oscar.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just noticed that. I'm sorry. I
No,
didn't
we're
mean to
good,
say
we're
that.
good.
Go ahead, Oscar.
No, it's okay. I don't have a clock in front of me, so we're good to go.
Yeah, I just realized that. We went long with Ms. Carlin.
She had much to say.
Yes, she
One
did.
more, and it's back to Lamar Odom. I wanted to share this as well. He spent $75,000 in his short time at the brothel. That's the type of dollars and sex.
Like
we're
2
talking
days.
75 grand?
75K, TMZ is reporting.
He should have gotten the all-inclusive.
That's terrible. That is not nice.
Just a number that I wasn't expecting to see, but of course we find out everything these days. So I guess our prayers are with Lamar.
Yeah, we wish him well.
75K for 2 days.
A lot of money.
A lot of money.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Oscar. We appreciate that. That's Oscarazzi. We will take a break, and then it is time for our last audio vault of the week right here on the Mike O'Mara Show.
It's Tony and Gary.
Hey there, boys and girls. I'm Tony Perkins.
And I am Gary Stein.
He is the father of Ben Stein, who is our guest this week, an extraordinary musician who happens to be your son.
Isn't that surprising?
That he's your son?
Yes, he's
And
good.
talented?
Yes.
Also on the show, the Real or Fake Movie Game.
Oh, not again.
Check it out, TonyPerkinsShow.com. Subscribe at iTunes and download the brand new Tony Perkins Show app.
The Tony Perkins Show.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by Amazon. Do you feel that chill in the air?
Ooh.
Do you know what that is?
Ooh.
That is Old Man Winter or so, sending out his calling card. Fall is here and winter is right around the corner. Brr.
Oh, give me a better read than that.
Fall is here and winter is right around the corner. Brr.
I think we'll go with the first one.
Okay, Amazon has everything you need for the upcoming months. Warm clothes, boots, hats, costumes, and candy for Halloween. Rakes and leaf blowers. Don't forget those.
Oh, the leaves love them.
And if you're smart and think ahead, it's never too early for snow shovels, ice melter, and dazzling Christmas lights. Dazzling. Shop at home, beat the crowds, and save some serious bread, Daddy-O. Plus, it's always the right time of year to buy solid brass monkeys at surprisingly affordable prices.
Chunky monkey.
I didn't think I could afford that monkey until I went to Amazon.com.
But the most important thing to remember is anytime you purchase something through our Amazon link, we get a tiny little percentage, and it means the world to us. Like all the people that we saw this week in Glover Park, I should say. If you buy something on Amazon and you go through our page, it helps us enormously. We want you to go to MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon or click the Amazon button on our website or use the TMOS app and click on the shopping cart. Then shop like you normally would. It's that simple. Thank you, and God bless all of you. Real good.
Thank you.
All right, now without further ado, let's open up the audio vault. There it is. Yeah. Come on, Mike. You can make it.
You can.
Here's Rob Spiewak. Go ahead.
I
Rob.
have so much good stuff to bring you, but this must be played today because he's here with us. Do you remember, Mike, when Rob Ford was teaching you how to edit video?
Oh, yeah.
He wanted to have video of himself to edit to show you how to do it.
Yes.
And he was kind enough to share me the final project.
Oh, wonderful. This is very exciting.
And so this is Rob Ford, and I want you to know, yes, indeed, if you're wondering, it does indeed end with him doing double gunshot points to the camera.
Very good.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's a little Rob Ford.
Hi. This is Rob Ford from the Mike O'Mara Show. Or as they like to say, Rofo. I'm here on October 12th, Columbus Day, here in Washington, D.C. This is a test video for getting some stock footage so that I can help Mike O'Mara get into the video editing game. I'm taking some big pauses in between, but you won't know because I'm going to do some jump edits. The point of this video is just to provide some test footage so that I can learn how to use iMovie and edit. It shouldn't be too hard, and Mike's going to have no problem with it. Well, I guess that's probably enough footage for now. Maybe I'll add in some music at the end. Maybe I won't. Possibly even a title screen. Sorry in advance if this video came across as super douchey. Rofo out.
Oh my God!
I watched
fantastic.
it 5 times.
Wow! I can't wait to see it. I heard it and I loved it. I can't wait to see it.
Can you put it up on our Facebook page? I would love for people to see it.
Very good.
Oh, and you know what?
That's the Rofo-iest.
He says it shouldn't be too hard for Mike to learn. I'm going to say something I haven't said in a long time.
Yes.
I'm excited for Saturday Night Live this weekend because Tracy Morgan is hosting.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
they don't run them much on NBC, but if you go to the Saturday Night Live website, they record promos.
Yeah.
And here are some Tracy Morgan promos that I found very entertaining.
Hi, I'm Tracy Morgan, and I'm hosting Saturday Night Live season finale this week with musical guest Demi Lovato.
Oh, no, Tracy, this is not the season finale.
Oh, it will be after I'm done with it. Hi, I'm Tracy Morgan, and I'm hosting SNL this week with musical guest Demi Lovato.
Ah, Tracy, it's such an honor to have you back, ma'am.
Back where?
Back at SNL.
Did I used to work here?
Yeah, Tracy, you worked here for like 7 years.
Can't remember anymore.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
I'm messing with you, Bobby. What? Yeah, I remember. I remember everything.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, I remember you owe me $72.
Oh, are you sure?
It might have been 78.
Yeah, I think that was Horatio Sands. It happens
right.
all the time. Yeah,
You're right.
It's okay.
Hi, I'm Tracy Morgan, and I'm hosting SNL this week with musical guest Demi Lovato.
Ah, Tracy, it's so awesome you're hosting. Everyone is so excited.
Thank you, Bobby. I'm going to get everyone in this building pregnant.
It was really good to see him working and doing shtick
That's
again.
a standard line, that pregnant line. I
That's
love that.
so great.
Very, very funny.
If you don't have Netflix, get yourself Netflix because they're coming out with a holiday special.
Really?
It's called A Very Merry Christmas, and it has George Clooney, it has Amy Poehler, and your host, Bill Murray.
Really?
Wow. It is a Christmas special that looks like all I have is 30-second
On
promo.
Netflix, a Christmas special with Bill Murray.
A Very Merry Christmas.
A very Merry. I can't. I'm all in.
Listen to him sing.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful. Tonight will go down as the greatest night in history. But as long as you love me so, let it snow. Let it snow.
I'm already in the Christmas spirit.
I know.
Oh my God.
I would love to someday even know someone who's gotten to a point in their career that they could do the stuff Bill Murray does.
That is so neat.
cool.
What do you want to do? I want to do a Christmas special.
On Netflix.
Where are you going to do it? Netflix. And I'm going to have a lot of A-listers around me, and I'm going to sing.
That is too funny. And he's a good Christmassy guy.
Oh, he is.
He did Scrooge.
Oh, great film, yeah.
Absolutely. The guy loves Christmas.
So
That's
watch
great.
out for that. Now, did you know that Michael Jackson hung out on the set of On Golden Pond?
No.
That, I was going to include that, but I'm
Really?
glad you have it.
Good.
That is so incredible. Yeah,
I
he
did
went
not
and
know
visited Jane Fonda.
And he ended up being friends with Katharine Hepburn, even though she didn't want him there.
Do you have audio
in
of
the
the,
first place? I have Jane Fonda telling about
This
it.
is such an amazing story.
This is pretty great.
Michael Jackson came and stayed for 10 days on the set. And when I first asked her permission, there's this young singer, a black young singer that I would like to invite. She was not happy. Black kid? But then the crew said, "You don't understand, it's Michael Jackson." And so
And he
she
stayed
went.
at your house.
She did. We lived together. I went skinny dipping with him.
Wow.
Also, by the way, with Greta Garbo. Anyway.
So Jane Fonda and Michael Jackson nude in the water together.
So is she throwing Hepburn under the bus?
No,
with a
I
little
don't think
racial
so.
stuff
I
there,
don't
or
think
what?
so. I think she was saying that Katharine Hepburn wasn't aware of who he was.
Okay.
And
all right.
I mean, the fact that he was a black singer, I don't think is part of the story. I think it's just it's a young singer.
I am a racist.
Well, the thing is that there's a very good
Jane
chance.
Fonda's accused me of being a racist.
There's a very good chance Katharine Hepburn saw Michael Jackson in his birthday suit.
Happy birthday to you.
There we go.
Happy birthday
There we go. I didn't need to do that voice.
Happy birthday, dear
Norman.
Wow.
Happy
birthday
And so that is your Magic Audio Vault. Have a great Friday, everybody.
Get out of here. Another Michael O'Mara Show has come and gone. Be sure and join us again for more fun and more thrills at MikeO'MaraShow.com. If you want to correspond with the Mike O'Mara Show with a letter or package, send it to TMOS, Box 2796, Leesburg, Virginia 20177. To get your message or birthday request into the Wednesday mailbag, email Rob with 2 B's at MikeO'MaraShow.com. We rely on your word of mouth. Tell a friend or family member about TMOS and make sure they get it too. For Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana, this is Mike O'Mara saying, have a nice weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.
Have a safe trip. So
Thank
long.
you. Yeah, I'll be back in Florida on Monday.
Ciao, ciao.
Just a second. You're not going anywhere until I tell you that MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon is the best way to shop for anything and everything. So, when you think Halloween, think Amazon and go through our website. Open eternally at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. Amazon. Good.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.